Have you ever heard of a genre called New Weird? Until about a week ago, neither had I. But since then, it has become a new fascination for me. New Weird, by its very definition, is undefinable. The term, coined by one of my favorite authors, M. John Harrison, says it all. It's new, and it's weird. But if we were to dive a little deeper in more technical terms, New Weird isn't particularly a genre, but an amalgamation of well-known and established genres to create something new. Horror, science fiction, postmodern, surrealism, fantasy. New Weird is also known to abandon cliches and tropes while still achieving the same effect. Well, how do you tell a ghost story without mentioning ghosts? How do you create horror without horror? Now you may begin to see how this style of storytelling is so hard to describe. One of the most intriguing aspects of New Weird is its almost defiant reluctance to adhere to narrative norms. It's rebellious by nature. Things don't need explaining. They simply are. And the story doesn't care if you're on board with that or not. In 2018, I read a book called Light by M. John Harrison before I was aware of this New Weird concept. At first, I rejected this book. I didn't get it. But in reality, I wasn't ready for it. Later that year, I picked it up again and it absolutely blew me away. It was like no piece of entertainment I had ever experienced. It was weird and wonderful, sexy and strange, dirty, but fresh. If you let it, this book will take you somewhere that is so foreign, so alien, yet somehow logical in some bizarre way that it actively hypnotizes you as you read. Now, years later, after finally finishing this trilogy of books, Light, Nova Swing, and Empty Space, and understanding that this style of story is its own thing, it made me think, are there any games like that? And immediately, one game comes to mind. Control. Control is weird. There's an FBI-like building that harbors items with obscure magical properties. When you enter, there are dead employees floating about like balloons. The architecture shifts and contorts. Truly, there is nothing else like it in gaming. Like I said before, a feature that I love so much about this genre is nothing is explained. There is a fridge that eats people if you look at it. A stop sign that warps reality. There's an entire rock quarry under the building that appears to be on the surface of an alien planet with stars off in the distance. Why? Who cares? A lot of these elements stem from H.P. Lovecraft and his exploration of the unknown. In a book, or a movie, or a game, you can explain everything away due to some strange science or factual premise. But often what that does is rationalize some mystical obscurity into a tangible thing. And once you've wrapped your head around it, the magic is gone. As soon as it becomes something you can hold, turn around in your hand, look inside of, what mystery is left? Another game that dwells in the obscure is Bloodborne. Like, what is this thing? Where did it come from? In preparation for this video, I was looking for lore videos on these creatures, but there aren't really any. And then I realized, yeah, that makes sense. These things don't have a definitive lore. Their true origins lie within your imagination. And with this style of storytelling, your imagination will go farther than any description an author or a filmmaker or a game developer could ever provide you. Because with everything involving the bizarre, We all have our own fears and fascinations. And with this foggy, obscure, reserved approach to introducing you to creatures and concepts, you will project your own histories and rationale upon them, making the story not only personal to you and your own mind, but you become a participant in forming the narrative.